Hello and welcome in. I felt compelled to do a reading this evening on relationships, and possibly it's just a relationship that you're having with yourself. Um, it doesn't matter if you're a masculine or a feminine, we're going to look at the energies within us, and then you can take those energies and put them in the column that they best fit. So this can be a relationship between two people. It can be an intimate relationship. It can be between friends, between relatives, between co-workers. All relationships actually are intimate in that we are spiritually connected to everyone that we interact with. So, but all relationships also reflect that the energies that are within us. Everything is us mirrored back to ourselves. So what we're going to do this evening, I have some major arcana cards pulled, and we're going to start with the Emperor, with the masculine energy and how we're using that, or how the masculine is showing up. We're going to look at the Empress for the divine feminine energy and how that might be showing up. We're going to look at the High Priestess. What is our intuition telling us, and what would be best to do for our highest good. We're going to look at the Moon, possibly what we are hiding from ourselves, what we aren't seeing. We're going to look at justice, what we could do to bring justice to balance the karmas in the situation. And then for an outcome, we're going to look at the Sun. What would bring the most happiness in all of it? What can we do to bring joy into the situation? I'm going to pause just 1 second. I'm going to turn on the overhead camera so that you can see the cards, and I'll be right back. So we're going to start over here with this Emperor, and we're just going to do a 3-card downline. And the way I like to do downline is mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. So I've called in Spirit and our guides, and I'm just going to shuffle a few times. Show us the Emperor, please. Spirit, show us the Emperor. Show us the Emperor. Eight of Cups. The energy at the bottom of the deck, or what you might not see, is the Eight of Cups. Walking away, letting go, leaving behind. The Moon, illusions and hiddenness, confusion and secrets, uncertainty. 4 of Swords, taking a break, relaxing, self-reflection, resting. 3 of Swords, heartbreak, pain, separation, grief, sorrow, and trauma. Well, that isn't fun, is it? That's definitely not fun. I'm going to leave that up there with the... I will be using a couple of decks. This deck is the Awakening Path Tarot. It's kind of interesting because it does have a lot of words on it, which I didn't realize when I bought it that it was gonna, but I actually really like it. Show us the Empress, please. Spirit, show us the Empress. Show us the Empress. King of Wands, leadership, visions, bold, daring, big ego and optimism. Ace of Cups, new love and feelings, emotional awakening. Ace of Swords, clarity and truth, new ideas. What was at the bottom of the deck? The Emperor, divine masculine, control, authority. So I would say that what we don't maybe see is that our masculine is actually controlling our feminine a little bit, suppressing it, being authoritative over it, maybe not allowing her to birth new ideas or to feel as deeply as she would like to bring forth, love and healing, compassion, maybe to the situation, or even just to yourself. Show us the High Priestess, please. Show us this High Priestess. Seven of Cups. Choices, opposition, opportunities, fantasy, and illusions. Three of Wands, looking ahead. Foresight. Ace of Pentacles. And the Lovers. Okay. Interesting. I like that, actually. It's interesting. Okay, we're going to get a second deck, and we're going to lay out the last three, and then we're going to go through each of them. And we will clarify some of the full down lines, and we'll clarify each card on a couple of them just to get a better idea of what's... Oh, this isn't the deck I thought it was. Oop. We're going to use that one, just not yet. This deck, I don't remember the name of this deck. Good Tarot. This is called the Good Tarot. This is a beautiful deck. I love this deck. Well, what we don't see doesn't want to be seen, because these cards usually shuffle really beautifully. They are being very ornery. Show us the Moon. Show us what we don't want to see. Show us what we're hiding or is obscured. Last shuffle. Show us the Moon, please. Three of Cups. So the energy that could support you that you don't see is the Three of Cups, which is celebration. Eight of Pentacles, hard work. Maybe we don't want to see that hard work could fix the situation. Or Queen of Earth. Well, you have in your heart space the ability to do so. Queen of Earth knows her worth, and she's not afraid of working. Empress in the spiritual energy. I actually love that. So the work that needs to be done needs to come through the feminine. Okay, show us justice, please. Show us justice. Let's shuffle for justice, please. Let's shuffle for justice. And what would make the situation right, or what could bring it into balance? So the energy that could support you, should you choose to take it, is the Hanged Man, which is, oh, that's interesting, transformation. That's the Death card. I'm going to put this with it. I was told to look back at the bottom of the deck. I think there is, I can see how that would be. So new perspective, let it transform. The Hanged Man is about going upside down and finding that the perspective that will help. Queen of Water, which is Queen of Cups. The Magician, and Six of Swords, Six of Air, Six of Swords. That's actually really beautiful. I love this, actually. This is a beautiful line right here. I love in this deck it says instead of the death card, instead of it being the Death card, it's actually a card of transformation, because that's what death is. Anything that dies then is transformed into something else, into a new form. So in as far as spiritual growth goes, transformation is what we all seek. Okay, show us the Sun. Show us what would bring happiness to the situation, Spirit. Show us the Sun. Boundaries and justice. Two of Cups. Oh, soul bond. I'm actually going to take all three of them because that's pretty funny. Boundaries and justice. So making sure that things are right. Having good boundaries. Not just with them, but also within yourself, between your masculine and feminine energies. King of Water, which is King of Cups. So own your heart space and your mind. Know what things you love. The Hierophant. Hierophant, you know, for me, I haven't had a real loving relationship with the Hierophant because, you know, he's the lawgiver. And well, I'm a bit of an independent thinker. But what I can say is, as I have transformed, I have come to appreciate the energy of the Hierophant more and more, because it is about spiritual higher learning. It is a card that supports growth towards things which set the balance. So, and then Three of Pentacles, it's about higher learning. It's about setting a plan. It's about getting a mentor, getting help with the situation. Okay, so I'm going to start back over here with this Emperor. And as we stated earlier, the Emperor is the masculine energies. And so this is leadership. This is control and authority. This is where the buck stops. So within us, that's that masculine energy, and sometimes it can get a little bit of a bad rap because it is what when can become controlling and cruel, but used properly, you know, it's benevolent leader. It's a benevolent authority figure. And then clarifying in the mind, the Moon. So there's a little bit of confusion as to possibly what to do. Like the mind is not clear in the mind exactly how to use this masculine energy, the energy of action and taking things forward outside of ourselves. And then the heart space, the Four of Swords. So taking a little bit of time to rest and to relax and to go within. I'm going to actually show you both of these cards just in case the upper camera doesn't pick it up. The Four of Swords. So time to reflect, time to rest on those things that are in front of us and that have been painful to us. I think it's really interesting that in the spiritual energy, the Three of Swords comes out. So there's been a lot of pain and disappointment within this connection. Even if this connection is only within you, there's been a lot of pain. And the Four of Swords always comes after the Three of Swords, because it takes rest to heal that pain, to soothe those things. And it's about going into the heart and actually healing the heart, which means you have to rest and go in, introspect and into that divine feminine energy, because the divine feminine is the compassion and the healing and the loving energy. Okay, and so I would like to clarify this Three of Swords a little further. I think we kind of well, you know what, I kind of would like to clarify the Moon too. Spirit, will you show us this Moon card? Give us a little bit more information on this Moon card. I'm just going to shuffle it a couple of times and then we'll pop a couple out. Spirit, can you show us the Moon sign, or the Moon card, please? Now is a really good time to make some changes. Oh, the Lovers. The Lovers. Okay, so this is a soul bond connection for sure, no doubt about it. So maybe what we have not really taken into consideration, that may be eluding us, the importance of it maybe is eluding us, is the Lovers. And in this deck, it's really interesting because the Lovers is depicted both as a masculine card and as a feminine card. And I don't see, you can see that the heart is actually illuminated and that the energies of the heart are going back and forth, out, away from her, and the sun is at her back. So love is what makes her happy. That's what her happiness is about the way that she feels in her heart. And so maybe this Moon is just saying the thing that you're hiding from yourself really is the receptive energies within you, the way that you actually feel in your heart, and that this is a divine connection. And even if you're reading this just in a spiritual way, that this is a connection between you and you, what I would say is that your Emperor, your masculine energy possibly is suppressing your feminine energy. Strength. Spirit of Cups at the bottom. Interesting. So it will take strength and a little bit of introspection in your heart space. I was told to check the bottom of the deck, and the strength is what you use to push something away or to pull it towards you. And so to pull this energy of the divine feminine towards you and use your heart more will take some strength, because you're probably not used to doing it, I think is what it was indicating. Okay, I understand the rest. I did want to take a look at that Three of Swords. Spirit, can you show us a card or two for the Three of Swords, please? Can you show us this Three of Swords? You got two of them. Five of Wands. Six of Swords. Okay. So the Five of Wands for me is, and maybe because I'm a fire sign, a lot of times people will call it playful banter, or a little bit of struggle, like spiritual struggle. But also for me, and especially like this, like those are some pretty intense eyes that he's looking at you with. It's challenge. It's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit beyond struggle. It is the need to be right. The need to be right and seeing yourself as more perfect. It's a little bit of an egoic card for me. When that card comes out, for me, it's a little bit of standing a little bit more in your ego and not giving back. So possibly your masculine part of you, if it's just an aspect of you that you're working on in relation to this reading, your masculine may be just a little bit standing in his ego and trying to control the narrative, and creates a struggle within you rather than working with his divine feminine, or the divine feminine energy within you. It's possible that the masculine energy is just standing a little in the ego. And even if you are in this reading and feeling like this fits with a relationship that you're having, the masculine is always going to mirror back to the feminine what is within her. And so if there is ego that you're seeing in them, there's always an aspect of ego within you. And the same is true the other way as well, if you're the masculine. Okay, and then the next card is the Six of Swords. So in your mind, stop the banter back and forth even in your mind with this person and move to calmer water. This is about moving away from the struggle and away from the strife. And fives are about change, and sixes are about balance. So moving from the 5 to the 6, I think that's a good sign. It's about moving away from the prideful, egoic stance that maybe is being taken, and moving more into a space of peace, especially in the mind. Okay, and then the last card that I wanted to talk about in this downline, because this is the energy that is supporting you or hindering you, but it's the energy that you don't see, is the Eight of Cups. And that's clarifying the Emperor. And the Eight of Cups is about walking away, letting go, leaving something behind. And cups are love. Cups are about the love that we have. And 8 is, it's a good amount. 8 is a high number. But it's also a number that is an infinity loop. It's something that doesn't always give back as it should, the 8 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is where you want to get. 9 of Cups is individual wish fulfillment. It's fulfilling your own wishes. It's becoming the person that is capable of drawing back to themselves the 10 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups, not only does it not receive enough love to remain within whatever the relationship is, it's also not giving itself enough love. If you are trying to receive love from someone and you choose to walk away from them, it's always a reflection of the love you're also not giving yourself. You have to show it for yourself first before anyone will ever be able to show it for you. So what that 8 of Cups indicates to me is that this Emperor energy, or the masculine energy, isn't really willing to give enough love, and therefore feels the need to possibly move away. Even if they're only moving away in their heart, even if they're only moving away spiritually, not physically moving away, it's still the same outcome. Everything always starts with the self first. Okay, this Empress energy. So King of Wands, she comes out first in the mind as King of Wands. Leadership, vision, bold, daring, big ego, optimism. You know, and the Empress is the divine feminine energy, and in the mind, that's a pretty solid stance. I like that, actually. I would be careful with that ego, because the King of Wands, the fire signs, they have more pride than anyone. And the King of Wands is right at, you know, at the very pinnacle of that. If you want to send a king to war, you're going to send the King of Wands, because he doesn't have pride. He doesn't want to lose. You know, he's going to fight to the death. So there is, and the kings are fixed energy, so they aren't going to back down easily. None of the kings back down easily. And then in the heart space with the Eight of Cups, that's having an open heart and wanting to start something new, wanting to feel something different. So the feminine energy in this or in this downline truly does want to feel loved. And then the final card in the spiritual energy is this Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords understands, having gone through the energy of the page and gotten some information and done some digging, understands a bit of the truth and wants to begin anew with the truth that they now understand, and which I think is great. So the feminine energy is understanding somewhat here what is going to need to be done, and does want to actually start to begin again. Aces are about one, and so all of the understanding has to start with you, because everything starts with the self, and one is about the self. But all things have to start with you and then move out from you. And the feminine energy almost always will be the side of the connection. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, makes no difference. The feminine energy will almost always be the one to spiritually begin to evolve first and start that new beginning down on a spiritual path. That's just the way that it is. It's not always that way, but almost. In my experience, it has been, from what I have seen in people that I have counseled. I'd actually like to look at this King of Wands. Can you show us something about this King of Wands, Spirit? What would be good to know about this King of Wands in the mental energy, the world? Okay, so possibly there are cycles, and there always are. It's going to be the Magician. Anything else, Spirit? It's going to be in sitting to receive, as the divine feminine does on the Sun in reverse. Okay. Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, so a little bit of feeling left out is driving this. But so the King of Wands, further clarified, he is aware, or she, the Empress, is aware with this energy of the King of Wands that there is a pattern. And the World card is always about the patterns that we keep. It's about the cycles. It's about the things that are the loops that keep us from actually changing, from things from actually changing. So he's starting to see with his mind, and it's leadership, it's vision, it's going forward, starting to see that there is a pattern here that's not serving. And then the next card out is the Magician. And I love the Magician. It's one of my absolute favorite cards in the deck, because it takes all of the elements, it understands all of the elements, and it understands that it's the only thing that can manifest anything in its life. The Magician does. And the Magician is one. It always starts with self. Everything starts with self. And then we have the Sun in reverse. So it's understanding that these cycles that we're involved in, they are not creating, they are not manifesting anything that is making us happy. So it's really about, in your mind, or in this feminine's mind, the King of Wands saying, okay, I get it. I understand that the cycle isn't manifesting happiness. And so now that I can see that, now that I can understand that with my mind, it's time to start in leadership changing that. And that, I think that's how we get to the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. which are about beginning over in the heart and offering something forward from the heart because you have a new understanding. And then, you know, with the clarity of the mind and the spiritual energy backing that up. Actually, I don't think we need to clarify those aces. I think they're very straightforward. The one thing I would say is that the Emperor coming out as the energy that you possibly don't see with this feminine energy, I would say that the masculine energy that is either within you or the masculine energy in this connection possibly is a little too controlling and maybe pushing down this Empress energy. But use that King of Wands energy in your mind, because you have the ability and the wherewithal to push back. And you don't have to push back painfully. It starts a new beginning, understanding the cycle within you, understanding what has to change, and then begin with the heart, beginning with the heart, beginning with love, and then taking those thoughts in your mind and going forward with them. Okay, let's take a look at that High Priestess. So the High Priestess, and the reason that we're looking at that energy is the High Priestess is the seat of our intuition. She always knows spiritually what would be best for you to do in accordance with your highest purpose, your highest good. And she doesn't look at the happiness maybe so much today, but what's going to be down the road for your highest purpose, your highest path, understanding what you came here to do, what you came here to learn. You didn't come to have a feathered nest, you came to learn things. And so she's offering this red apple. I think it looks like red apple. But she's also hiding something else here. And so there's always things that are hidden with the High Priestess. She knows everything, but she doesn't give that information away. You may get some intuitive hits, but you aren't going to get the full-blown information unless you get quiet enough, because she's a feminine energy. You have to get quiet enough to really hear, to really introspect, and you have to ask. And that's the thing about spiritual energy. Even though there's spiritual energy being offered to us all the time, if we are not asking, we are not going to receive. You can't get what you don't ask for. God gave us our agency, and that was a promise that he made, was that we would get to choose. So you have the choice whether you ask for help or you don't ask for help. Let's take a look at this Three of Wands, that's looking ahead. The Three of Wands for me is about long-term planning. It's about knowing what you're passionate about, knowing that it's going to take time. There's always a passage of time with the Three of Wands. And then waiting, once you've asked and you've made the plan and the plan is underway, it's about waiting patiently for the ships to come in. I heard a really interesting depiction of what I'll just go over these first three wands cards. But the Ace of Wands is where you plant the seed. The Two of Wands is where you plan out the soil and the terrain and stuff, and get ready to put that little seed into the ground, or where you're going to plant it when it sprouts. And so you take that little sprout and you go and you plant it in the Two of Wands in the earth, and you water it and you nurture it and stuff. And then the Three of Wands is the part where you can see what it's going to become, what its purpose is going to be in your life. This plant, whether, let's just say it's an orange tree. And then the Three of Wands is about waiting for that tree to get big enough to give you fruit, and understanding and trusting the process for that to happen. And if you get too impatient with the Three of Wands and you dig that little seedling up every couple hours just to see if it's done anything, then that isn't going to, the little guy isn't going to get to grow. It's not going to happen. So it's about being patient, about understanding that once you have set your plan in motion, once you've planted the little seedling and he's growing, waiting for him to come up and bear fruit could take time. I thought that was really an interesting depiction. All right, so let's see this, something on the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, what is the Three of Wands about? And clarifying the High Priestess, this intuitive energy. What about this Three of Wands? Three of Swords. Okay. Four of Cups kind of on its side, a little bit in reverse. It's on its, at best it's on its side, possibly in reverse. Four of Swords on rest. What do we got here? Five of Pentacles. That's a few more than I wanted. Ace of Pentacles. So this Three of Wands, some of the things that we're going to have to really look at, that we're going to have to go in and get information about, and then that we're going to have to process in our mind and make a plan going forward, are going to have to do with this Three of Swords, with this pain. And it could be pain that has to do with this connection, if you're looking at this as a connection. It could be pain that has to do with the masculine energy within you, suppressing the feminine energy, suppressing, just simply not taking into account what the feminine energy has to say and how painful that is, because your inner child is kind of represented by that feminine energy, by the heart space. And the Four of Cups in reverse, I actually like the Four of Cups in reverse. It's about really starting to want to heal, starting to want to understand what not appreciating the things in your life has done, and deciding that you're going to start looking into it. And fours are a little bit always cards for me of resting upon it and going in to find out. And then the Five of Swords, it's about the mental conflict. It's about having a conflict in your mind, and for me first, and then taking that conflict outside of you to others. And the fives are about change. When a five shows up, there's going to be a change in order to transmute that five into something better. And the last card is the Five of Pentacles. So there's a lot that needs to change. There's two fives in a row. 5-5, that's master change. I mean, that's a tower. That's coming up on a tower when you get two fives hooked up together with each other. And the Five of Pentacles is about not being considered, being left out in the cold, not provided for. But it's also about feeling in your mind that way, because these are all clarifying this energy that is in your mind, and this Three of Wands. So going and asking the High Priestess what it is that you need to build, how to rebuild, how to plan for the future, how to plant that seedling, and what needs to be done to grow that tree, and then wait for the answer. Because definitely something in your mind is going to have to change, certainly. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Let's get this Ace of Pentacles. Spirit, can I have a couple cards for this Ace of Pentacles? Okay. Okay. Aw. Okay. So we have Ace of Pentacles is about starting something in the 3D that you're going to have to plan for. And Pentacles are always about laying a foundation and doing it right and building it right. And the first card out is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a nostalgic card about the connections within our lives, a precious connection. And it could be the precious connection that you are wanting to build within yourself, starting that precious connection within you. In fact, you'll have to in order to heal any connection that you're having trouble with, because everything is you pushed out. And then on its side was the Ten of Cups. So it hasn't committed to being completely a happy Ten of Cups, but it also hasn't committed to being a completely unhappy Ten of Cups. So when the Ten of Cups comes out on its side, especially right after the Six of Cups, just to clarify this precious connection, this soul bond connection, as the Six of Cups always are, the Ten of Cups on its side just says to me, I've kind of paused being happy with this, being happy with my Ten of Cups. There's something in my Ten of Cups that, if in a lot of cards there'll be cups on it, my cups are a little bit spilled. I'm not seeing them full. I'm seeing them, maybe less than full. And then the last card out is the embodiment of Pentacles, which is actually the King of Pentacles, the fixed energy. It's the Master Builder. And that came out upright.
So it's really about beginning this again, with a plan, a solid plan, because the King of Pentacles isn't going to build anything that and not see it through. So I think that's really beautiful. And that's all energy, that will come through your intuition. And the Lovers, we have the Moon card. The Lovers, that's about, let me show you this card. Soulmates, twin flames, spiritual love. The spiritual love, the twin flames within you, the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within you, balancing those. And it's always about the choice. It's always our choice to do it or not do it. Okay, and then we have the Moon. So possibly you don't, at this point, quite see the way to do this, to balance this love, this masculine and feminine energy, this love that's either within you or that you're experiencing. But the Moon is an intuitive card, and again, just like the High Priestess, if you go in and ask, you will receive the answers that you're looking for. Okay, so the next card out is the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords and Two of Cups. And the Ace of Swords is about understanding in your mind that a new beginning is needed, and then going forward, taking the information that you get from the High Priestess and from introspecting within the Moon, within the heart space, and taking that forward with your Two of Cups and balancing that love. Two of Cups is about harmonizing in love within yourself and with others. And Two of Cups often will indicate an intimate relationship. We'll get one more deck. We'll start on let's see, animal cards. I think we'll use this Wild Unknown Tarot. Actually, I want to use a different one. I don't need that deck as well. Use this one. I love this deck. Okay. Did I just? No. Okay. I thought I just shuffled them against each other. I have a real thing with them being in the reverse when I'm shuffling, or before I start shuffling. If they come out reversed, I want to know that that's how they were intended, so I make sure they're right. Okay, let's take a look at this Justice card. Karmically, what does it take to balance this within us and then with outside of us as well? The energy that you don't see that supports you is the Hanged Man, which is just seeking a new perspective and seeking transformation. Oh, I forgot the Moon card. The energy supporting you in the Moon is the Three of Cups. So that's really just a call to have more fun within yourself, and possibly with this partner or with this relationship. It's a call to celebrate the love that you feel, and that's not a lot of connectivity. The Three of Cups is a small amount of connectivity, but it's basically just saying find the friendship again, and that just doing that will help. Okay, so just this karmic balancing. And the Justice card is ruled by Libra, and Libra is the card of, Libra is the sign of relationships and balance in relationships, setting things right. Okay, let's see this Queen of Water, Queen of Cups in this downline. Queen of Cups, are you honoring? Let's take a look at this Queen of Cups. In this downline, we have the Queen of Cups, the Magician, and the Six of Swords. And Queen of Cups, she's the queen that she's very nurturing, and from a very strong place within her heart, she gives to those around her. And she's a queen, she expects to be given back to equally, and that would be justice. And then the Magician in the heart space, it's about possibly about understanding that you have the power to give and receive equally. And then the six of air, the Six of Swords, is always about moving to calmer waters, and that's in the spiritual aspect. So, okay, last shuffle for the Queen of Water. Cups. Queen of Cups. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for us on this Queen of Cups? Queen of Cups, please. Oh, it's the first time we've had a Knight. Knight of Coins, which is Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, Knights are about taking what we have decided to begin as a new beginning and moving that energy outside of us. And again, Pentacles are earth energy, so it's about building something. It's about laying a solid foundation. You know, the Knight of Cups, he's not going to, or Knight of Coins, excuse me, he's not going to move fast, but he's going to get the job done properly, very properly. He's the one, if you want something done, you can trust him to see it through. Is there anything else? Okay, so from in your mind, know your worth, know you should be given back to equally, and move forward with the plan. Ace of Wands. Okay, so understand your passion is what will have to direct this. Aces or Wands are about the passionate energy, the spiritual energy that is within us, what motivates us and gives us the energy to go forward. And Aces are about beginning again. Anything else? Spirit, anything else? Three of Coins. Get a little bit of, do some higher learning and collaboration. 3D work. 3D work. Okay, show us the Magician. Show us the Magician. Death, Ten of Wands. Okay. So again, as is the energy that you don't see, the Death card in this deck is called Transformation. Has also come out on the Magician, and Magician is, he knows how to manifest. He's walked the path. Like, this isn't a young guy. He's walked the path enough to know how to manipulate the energies within him, to direct them outside of himself, so that what he puts out, he knows he's going to draw back to himself what he wants. So he is going to become or embody the things that he wants to manifest. The Magician is that aspect of us that has to learn how to manipulate energy in order to create the life that we want. And the Ten of Wands and Death, the Ten of Wands is too much burden, just carrying way too much, and understanding that it's time to put that down. It's time to do something different. 10 is always the end of a cycle, so it's carrying too much of the load. And Death has come to say, it's time to end that. We're gonna stop that now, and it's time for you to start something else. So, because anytime that Death comes, a transformation is going to take place. Something else is going to begin. Okay, I think that's pretty straightforward. Spirit, will you show us this Six of Swords, Six of Air? Six of Swords and the Six of Swords. They're real serious about you moving to calmer waters in your mind. Anything else? The Hierophant. Okay. Two of Coins. Okay, great balance. So we have the Six of Swords being clarified also by the Six of Swords. And in this, I love this card. So this ship is moving on the water to a calmer place. And swords are about the mental activity, anything that we're doing with our mind. And the Five of Swords is usually about conflict, especially within us. And so sixes are moving, and we had the Six of Swords over here earlier as well. So we've talked about it a little bit. But when the Six of Swords comes out on the six, 6, double numbers are always a master number. And so it's really saying you really got to get control of your mind. If you want justice in this situation, you have to get control of your mind. And that is how it's going to have to start. Because from your mind, your emotions are going to respond. And that is going to draw back to you the equivalence of them, the equivalence of however that feels. And the Hierophant, Mr. Grumpy Pants, he's come to just say, yeah, if the spiritual laws are what they are, you can't buck the law and get anything else. If you just are that little birdie that keeps running into the window, that window isn't moving. You're not going to be able to move the window. You've got to find out where the door is. You've got to go a different way. You've got to see a new perspective. If you want justice, you have to see a new perspective, and from that perspective, you have to allow this to transform. Okay? This is really good energy. A lot of major arcana in this reading. I think it's really beautiful. You're very heavily supported to make a transformation. Just in this one downline, we have 1, 2, not including the one that we picked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards out. That's about half the cards we've got clarifying this that are major arcana. So I think that's really beautiful. We're very supported to make this transformation, to change this karma. Got this upside down. Oh, I also noticed that the Two of Pentacles was at the bottom of the deck. So juggling these aspects within you so that you can get a better outcome. Definitely. Okay, and then we have the Sun. And the Sun, the energy that was such an interesting set of cards. The energy that we don't see for the Sun, which is the happiest card in the deck. These are the things that bring us joy. This is what we're headed for. This is what we always want to move towards. We didn't come here to be unhappy. We did come here to be happy. These are some of the things, the energies that you don't see that possibly can be hindering that, which are the Seven of Fire, which is the Seven of Wands. And wands are about the spiritual energy, those things that drive us, our passions. And the Seven of Wands is about a defensive position. And it could be that you need better boundaries, but it's also possibly understanding when the boundaries are too much or when it turns into control just for the sake of control, because we have the Justice card right after it. So it's about understanding that this has to be balanced, that you do have to have boundaries, but also the boundaries can't be detrimental to what you actually want in terms of justice, what you actually want to build. Possibly. Okay, because the next one is the Two of Cups. And so justice within the Two of Cups, and these cups do represent the energy within you, the male and female aspect, but also you with a relationship with another person, if that's how you're interpreting this reading. So further clarifying the Sun, we have the King of Water, which I think is really interesting that we had the King. I don't know that I pointed this out earlier. I did notice that when we were laying this down. The King and Queen of Water are both here, which is the male and female aspects, or the feminine and masculine aspects of love. And one of them is on justice, and that is the feminine energy. And as I said before, when it's time for an evolution to begin to take place with you in a karmic connection, which you agreed to have happen before you came, it's almost always, the justice is almost always going to start with the feminine, but it has to start by her creating within her heart a transformation of a new perspective. Oops, throwing them. Of a new perspective. That has to happen. It has to happen in the heart space, because that's what this magician is. That's where he is, and you got to get quiet in your mind to do it. So let's clarify this King of Cups. I've put these up and down so many times. Yes, okay. I think I'm good. Shows us King of Water, King of Cups. And King of Cups, I love the King of Cups. It's fixed. He knows what he loves. There's no question about it. He's solid on it. This is a king that you can fully trust, that you can, he's got your back. Not going to leave you out in the cold. He's got a big old squishy heart. King of Cups. King of Cups somehow got flipped over. I'm not really sure when that happened. Ace of Pentacles, again, beginning in 3D, with a plan that starts with the self. And I think it's really interesting that the Queen of Cups getting this new perspective and this transformation is beginning with her. And then the King of Cups, the first thing out on this King of Cups is Ace of Pentacles, where hers was the Ace of Wands. 8 of Coins, understanding that it's going to be hard work. And the Lovers, oh, that's so beautiful. Okay. So for the King, our squishy hearted King, we have the Ace of Pentacles starting out with a plan and understanding that it's going to take time because Pentacles are slow moving, and knowing it's going to be hard work. This isn't going to be easy. Lovers connections are never easy. The balancing the feminine energy within you, it's never easy. But if you don't love the feminine and the masculine energy within you, you won't receive the love that you want to receive from anyone else. Not from the Lovers connection, for sure, because Lovers connections are always going to trigger you. That's why they're there. We came with these people so that we could evolve, so that we could change, so we could learn. So if you could see learning not as so much a painful thing, but as a gift, and the more that you learn, the less painful it becomes. I can tell you, as you reparent yourself, the pain lessens considerably, and life takes on a very peaceful tone. Really, I guess I would call it a tone, a very peaceful tone. And then as things come to you, you're not triggered by them once you've started to clear out some of those triggers. Okay, the Hierophant in the heart space, clarifying the sun. What does the Hierophant want to tell us in the heart space? And the Hierophant, again, is the spiritual learning, spiritual law, Two of Pentacles. So balancing, learning to balance your energies, learning to balance with what's actually going on in the universe. And there's that King of Cups again. That's cute. And the World at the bottom of the deck. So it's about balancing with the laws of the universe, within your heart, those things that you know to be right, that you know are right, and learning to balance the energies with you in accordance to that which is right. And the King of Cups here putting his stamp of approval on it. Standing up for, and the King of Cups is standing up for those things that are right, standing up for the love that is there. Okay, and then in the spiritual aspect of our happiness, the Sun card, let's look at this Three of Pentacles. Show us this Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about higher learning. It's about finding a mentor and collaborating. And it's about collaborating too, but it's usually collaboration with more than one person. Because when you are transforming, there's not a clear map to do it. So a lot of times, once we have asked and we have stopped to listen to our intuition, a lot of times that information is going to come through in the form of other people. YouTube, books were some of my greatest mentors, because I didn't have the time really to go and sit and talk to someone, although I have had counselors who were amazing. And but not always. A lot of my transformative journey I actually did just by listening to people, and you will get the answers that you need. Usually I would get them within hours, days. It never took very long. And as you learn to listen to the promptings, it becomes easier and easier to find the information that is needed. The universe it can't wait to help you. It just can't. Your spirit guides, they're all over it. The minute you ask them, they can't wait to help you. That's all they have to do. Of course, there's no time there in their realm, but show us this Three of Pentacles, this Three of Earth, please. Page of Wands. So get a little bit more learning about the passions that are within you, those things that you are passionate about. And I think sometimes during the journey, especially right before a death, we've kind of lost sight of our passion. A lot of times we're not really sure exactly, am I passionate about this connection anymore? Do I really care to balance what would be the outcome of balancing the feminine and masculine energy within me? Or what, if I stay, is it going to get better? So getting in there and finding out about the passions, because the Page of Wands has been through the 1 through 10, and you've already got the 10 of Wands somewhere here on this. Somewhere here is it? Oh, the 10 of Wands, clarifying the Magician. You already have the 10 of Wands out here. You've already taken enough burden. It's time to put the burden down, and the Page of Wands is here to clarify what that 1 through 10 journey on this subject so far has been, so that you can make a better decision. 7 of Wands. So again, here's the 7 of Wands again. It's the energy that you don't see. That's interesting. So boundaries, and then also be careful with Page of Coins. Slow start. Make a small investment. So with that 7 of Wands, the Chariot. Okay. Oh, there's more than one there. Chariot and Queen of Coins. Okay, so with that 7 of Wands, again, showing up down here, I really feel like boundaries are important. You have to have boundaries within yourself before you can expect them from someone else. I can remember the first time that I realized that I just had to have better boundaries, and that I would have to put up a boundary. And I just thought, well, I can see it now, that's going to be really easy. And I remember the first time I tried, I was like all tongue-tied, I could hardly even talk. And all I wanted to say was, I'm going to think about it and get back to you. Instead of just, because I had a really hard time saying no to the people that I loved. And so I remember the first time I decided, well, I know I'm going to have a hard time just saying no. I know that's going to be difficult for me. So what I'm going to say is, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. And I got all tongue-tied. I couldn't even hardly get the sentence out. It took me like 3 tries because it was so far removed from the energy that I was accustomed to living in that I just almost couldn't do it. So, but with the 7 of Wands, setting the boundaries that are healthy first within you, and then making a plan with the Page of Coins, making a plan to then implement the boundary, which is exactly what I was just talking about. And then the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles, she's the one who knows her worth, she knows the value, and she knows how to build, and she's going to build from her heart space. She is going to, those things that are important to her, she's going to nurture them, she's going to give compassion to them, and then following her intuition, the Chariot, going forward very passionately. And the Chariot in a lot of decks is depicted by 2 horses, a light horse and a dark horse, which basically just indicate the light and dark energies within us, or the yin and yang energies, masculine and feminine energies. And the person driving the Chariot never has reins, so the horses are aligned only by the intuitive balance that is kept between those polarities. And that is how the Chariot continues to move forward, because the horses, if those energies were not in alignment, then the Chariot is not going to go forward if the horses are fighting. So it's about balancing, aligning those energies, and then moving forward, and moving forward swiftly too, because the Chariots were taken, that's what's taken to war. And you don't pussyfoot around when you're on your way to war, you go. So let's get some is this one? Uncover the Hidden Truth. This is a Soul Symphony deck. Oh, it's a little stiff still. Discover the voice in your heart. Uncover the hidden truth. Spirit, what would you give as advice? Ah! We just threw cards on the floor. What would you want us to have for advice for this reading, for this transformation? This is a lot of beautiful energy on this board tonight. There's definitely heartstrings, mind games, taking advantage, playing with feelings, stringing along. So we're all connected through to all of our, all the people in our life by etherical cords, which are, can be referred to as heartstrings. So make sure that you're getting really clear and put up boundaries against having mind games or being taken advantage of. Or being strung along. Anything else, Spirit? I think that's a bit of a Seven of Wands card, honestly. Signs, spiritual contract, songs, telepathic, dreams of them. Oh. Definitely, the Lovers came out several times in this reading. There's definitely a soul contract here. No doubt about it. I don't know that these were, no, important. I didn't feel like it when I asked. There's one more I wanted. The Council of Horses. Okay. Red Bear. Patience is a virtue. Kind of that Three of Wands energy like we were talking about. Hanged Man, also energy of patience. Four of Swords, Six of Swords. Like that just further clarifies. It's a really pretty card too. Red Bear. This is the Council of Horses deck. I don't know if I said that, Oracle. Wonder. Seeing the world through the eyes of a child. Oh, that always helpful. That's that Three of Cups energy. That was the energy that you don't, in clarifying the moon. Wonder. Enjoyment. Love. Childlike. That will definitely heal a lot of things. Laughter heals. Laughter is a beautiful energy. Nothing releases resistance more than laughter and crying. I had a fairy tarot deck, a fairy deck also that I set out. Kind of forgot about it. Is there anything in this deck, Spirit? Anything else? Maybe we didn't need this one. One more shuffle. Magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairies. Blessings. The fairies want you to bless others too. This card really, honestly, reminds me of this Three of Wands again. And see how there's three people in it, or I'm sorry, Three of Water, Three of Cups. So lighten up, have more fun, be more childlike. Put up your boundaries. Be patient. Be patient with yourself, mostly. Mostly be patient with yourself. Work more on your internal stuff than the external stuff. The external stuff will align with the internal healing that you do. I promise. I hope this helped. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Namaste.